You are doing everything right for your cat, from the best organic food to the finest climbing trees. Yet, you can still feel this subtle, invisible distance, as if they are looking for something you haven't given them. The truth is, cats do not measure love in expensive toys or hours of forced petting. They measure it in tiny, micro moments of predictability and respect. Science is only just beginning to decode how a cat's brain responds to these silent cues. Most owners walk right past these opportunities every single day without realizing it. If you want to transition from a mere provider to their absolute safe haven, you need to master 3 specific gestures. These actions take less than 5 seconds each, but they change everything. The first breakthrough starts the exact millisecond before you even lay eyes on them. Most people believe communication with a pet begins when they speak or reach out their hand. But your cat began gathering critical data about you long before a single word left your mouth. The very moment your foot steps through the doorway, their survival instincts instantly switch on. Cats evolved as both highly efficient predators and incredibly vulnerable prey. Because of this dual nature, their survival depended entirely on recognizing the slightest changes in their environment. Even though your living room is completely safe, those deep evolutionary instincts never truly sleep. They are constantly evaluating your physical movement to see if the environment is safe or unpredictable. They notice how fast your body is shifting, whether your footsteps are heavy, and if your shoulders carry tension. If you rush into the room bringing all the heavy stress and chaotic energy of your workday, your cat instantly senses it. They will subtly hesitate, widen their eyes, or even quietly slip away into another room. But if you enter with absolute calmness and fluid movements, their entire posture immediately relaxes. This biological scanning explains why the exact same cat can treat you completely differently from one day to the next. It is not that they suddenly dislike you. They are simply responding to the invisible chaotic energy you brought home. So, before you walk up to greet them, take exactly 2 seconds to completely slow down. Drop your shoulders, soften your posture, and let your breathing hit a steady, calm rhythm. It feels completely insignificant to you, but to your cat, it is a massive green light of absolute safety. Over time, they will deeply associate your physical presence with ultimate stability and profound comfort. You will soon notice them greeting you at the door much more often, following you around, or just resting nearby. The deep emotional connection always begins long before you ever reach out your hand. The second micro gesture is the highly strategic 3-second ear scratch. There is a very specific biological reason why cats seem to absolutely melt when you scratch the base of their ears. This specific cranial zone is densely packed with highly sensitive nerve endings. Furthermore, it sits directly adjacent to their facial scent glands, which are paramount for feline communication. When a cat rubs their face against your furniture or your legs, they are depositing familiar pheromones. These scents create a localized chemical map that helps them feel secure and grounded in their territory. A gentle, precise scratch right at the base of the ear triggers a powerful release of comforting chemicals. It is not just a pleasant physical sensation. It actively reinforces deep feelings of familiarity and trust. However, the absolute secret to this technique lies entirely in keeping the interaction incredibly brief. Humans often mistakenly assume that if a cat enjoys a little affection, they will naturally want a massive amount of it. Cats view social boundaries in a completely different light than humans do. A short, focused touch lasting only 3 seconds feels infinitely safer to them than a long, overwhelming petting session. Because the interaction is strictly contained, your cat remains in absolute control of their own body. They never feel trapped, cornered, or forced to endure stimulation they did not explicitly ask for. Over weeks, these tiny, highly positive micro-experiences begin stacking neatly on top of one another. Your cat's brain starts recognizing that physical contact with you always leads to a safe, pleasant outcome. Soon, you will notice them tilting their head deeply toward your approaching hand. They will linger tightly beside you, perfectly positioning their ears right under your fingertips. These are the beautiful, silent signs that their trust in you is growing exponentially. They might even develop tiny daily rituals, seeking out your 3-second scratch at the exact same hour every day. It only requires 3 seconds of your time, but to your cat, It is an undeniable proof of safety. The third and perhaps most challenging habit is to always let them make the absolute first move. One of the greatest emotional gifts you can ever give a cat is the total freedom of choice. As humans, our natural instinct is to express affection by immediately initiating physical contact. We see something we love, so we instinctively reach out, pick it up, hug it, and squeeze it tightly. Cats, conversely, view every single relationship strictly through the lens of personal control and predictability. When your cat begins walking toward you, your immediate human instinct is to bend down and grab them. Yet, from their unique evolutionary perspective, that sudden movement is a threat that interrupts their approach. You are effectively hijacking the very social interaction they were trying to safely initiate on their own terms. Instead of reaching out, try practicing absolute stillness and patience. Remain completely still and allow your cat to finish their approach entirely on their own schedule. Let them actively rub their scent glands against your leg or gently press their forehead against your open hand. Only after they have established definitive physical contact should you slowly choose to respond. This incredibly minor adjustment completely transforms their entire psychological experience of you. Your cat learns a profound lesson. Approaching you does not mean losing their autonomy or being overwhelmed. They realize they will not be suddenly grabbed, lifted into the air, or forced into unwanted affection. As a direct result of this newfound safety, they will begin approaching you with immense confidence. Over months, this predictable pattern becomes the absolute baseline of their expectations around you. They know with absolute certainty that they can step close to you without ever losing control. Many cat owners discover that the exact moment they stop chasing affection, their cats start offering way more of it. Cats that previously seemed incredibly distant or detached will suddenly start sitting right next to you. They will seek your presence out voluntarily and spend much longer periods lounging by your side. Deep feline trust only grows when a cat feels that their personal boundaries are fully respected. The less physical pressure they feel from you, the more desperate they become to engage with you. The absolute strongest bonds are never built by doing more. They are built by allowing them the freedom to decide. The truly beautiful thing about these three habits is that they require absolutely zero money or special equipment. They do not require you to set aside hours of your incredibly busy day. They take mere seconds, yet they speak directly to the ancient, instinctual language of feline trust. Commit to practicing these three precise adjustments consistently over the very next week. Watch their body language with absolute focus and see how they begin to transform. You will quickly notice them following your footsteps more often and seeking your touch with genuine enthusiasm. They will simply look far more relaxed, peaceful, and truly at home in your presence. Sometimes, the smallest, most invisible shifts in our behavior create the absolute biggest changes in our relationships.